want to take a moment and talk specifically about the militarization of the Department of Justice. Because what we see, if you just look at the numbers that are published, and by the way, some numbers aren't published. Sometimes these reports that are done by the Department of Interiors actually have numbers blacked out. So let's just put those out there real quick. Here's a screenshot of that. But what we do know is that in the Department of Justice, ultimately what you have is you have the Federal Bureau of Prisons, you got the FBI, you got the U.S. Marshal, you got the DEA, and you got the ATF. Most armed staff are in the Bureau of Prisons, but ultimately what you have is you had 63,000 armed staff in 2017. Then you had 70,000 or 69,000 by 2019, and you had 75,000 armed staff within the Department of Justice in 2020. Now, these are armed personnel, so 70,000. Now, here's what we know. In 1 year, $128 million was spent on guns. Those guns were about 69% handguns, probably Glocks, 24% rifles, AR style, I'm sure, and 6% shotguns, things like Mossbergs and Remington 870s, that kind of thing. But in addition to that, and then 2% other, not sure what the other are. But then in addition to that, a large amount of money went towards red dots, suppressors, night vision, large caliber devices like grenade launchers, armed vehicles, helicopters, drones, and military boats. This is all going towards the Department of Justice. Now, let's just talk. Okay, so here you have 70,000 armed staff, and this is how they're armed. I'm sure more by now, because the last report was 2020. So as of 2020, and if you go back 7 years, they've gone through 767 million rounds of ammunition. So that's a little over 100 million rounds per year of small arms ammunition. So let's just focus on the handguns and the rifles and the shotguns. 767 million rounds. So what does this look like? Is this a militarization? Are they really stocking up? Well, ultimately what you have is if you take the 767 million rounds of ammo and you divide that by 70,000 armed staff, most of which are in the Department of Prisons, or the Bureau of Prisons, what you have is you have about 1,400 rounds per armed personnel. That's not a lot per armed personnel. I mean, I go through 1,400 rounds, maybe in a year on average, sometimes more, sometimes less. This isn't a tremendous amount of ammo. So if anything, it's a tremendous amount of armed staff. They're just not giving each one a lot of ammo. So, you know, what is this? Does the Department of Justice really need over 70,000 well-armed, not just I have a sidearm, well-armed staff and well-equipped staff, over 70,000 of them? So 767 million rounds, over 100 million rounds a year. And spending about $128 million on guns every year as well. So, you know, there you go. There's what you have with the Department of Justice. Any thoughts or insights you might have on any of that, definitely put it in the comments below. Is this a militarization, or are they just training armed police officers? You let me know. Put it in the comments below as well. If you like this video, click like and subscribe. If you feel called to support this channel with Patreon, that link is also below. But the most important part of this channel is we take prayer requests, so please don't ever hesitate to send that in. Thank you for watching this episode of God, Family, and Guns. And as always, love God, love your family, and love guns.